Ita for going back on letting my husband adopt my daughter because he cheated. I 50F am dying from esophageal cancer. I likely will be entering hospice sometime in 2024. I just want a final holidays at home. My husband James and I have been married 3 years, but have been in a romantic relationship for a total of 5 years. Besides my 10-year-old daughter Amy, my husband has 3 kids of his own. My daughter is actually biologically my niece, but I myself adopted her when she was 1 because her biological dad died from an overdose, and my sister had done something horrible for which she is still sitting in prison today. And Amy will be well into adulthood before she gets a shot at parole. But in the eyes of me, everybody else in this life, and I'd like to think the next, Amy is my daughter. And for a while, I was thinking that James would be yet another example of biology doesn't make a parent. I thought we were a family and that he was completely devoted to me and Amy, just as I was to his kids. We spoke of adoption, and the first time we spoke of it was 2 years ago. Then I began getting sick and this fell by the wayside. Then 2 months ago, I found out that James had a one-night stand with a coworker 4 years ago. We were having a rough patch and hadn't been sleeping together, true, but he blamed it on being drunk. She later quit without notice, but she decided to find me online and expose him after they wouldn't take her back at the restaurant. I had a feeling that James was hiding something after he stormed off from our fights. Now I'm dying and find myself stuck in therapy with this. He claims he hasn't cheated since, and I do not have that suspicion after that period, but don't know what to think anymore. He begged me not to divorce, if only so he could take care of me and also for his health insurance. But now all he's been doing is agonizing about adopting Amy. But all I'm thinking about is he had this one-night stand, but there must have been flirting beforehand. And he was the taken one, so he should have had the impulse control and respect for his partner. I don't like what that says about his character and feel he isn't as sorry as he ought to have been. During our conversation, he said he loves Amy and that he admits that he cheated. So he's a cheater. But that mistake doesn't take away his care for Amy and her welfare, and said that he deserves any punishments with regards to our marriage, but I'd be punishing Amy because the state would be here the moment I died. I know that if I would have either divorced him or put my energy into therapy, and I have spoken with a lawyer and am considering divorcing him because I know that would have been my first stop if I was still healthy. I don't want to deal with a cheating husband. The fact that he did this makes me worried about whether he'd again let his impulses cloud his better judgment, whether that would extend it to letting an unsuitable partner in because he sees sex and nothing else. James is upset and says that my parents are dead and the only relative I have is on welfare with 5 kids. But I want to rescind my offer because I don't trust him anymore. Ada? He keeps saying do this for Amy.